Well, good afternoon. Well, it's just bang on noon, and as usual Andrew's late on the go, but he's not really late, he's just a lot of indecision of what to do today, whether to continue the gardening duties or indeed travel west, or, well, there was a whole bundle of things I wanted to do, but I made the decision that I would come out here to, well, this is Methven. This is the old railway station, the ground at least of it, warehouses and stuff. I think it's a timber yard or something now. And is it timber? Yes. And so what we're going to do is go down to Burnside and follow the route across the fields. Hopefully they've not got any winter barley in. This will be the plan. So let's just take a quick step in here, and we should show you the railroad. So this is crikey, that's not very safe, is it? If you weren't paying attention when you wandered in here, you could have went right into that. But this is the railroad, and that sign says Tivermore Road via Tippermallow. So that's all right. But you can see the rail. It's obviously a rail line as we come along here. It's a fantastic early winter day. The weekend was absolutely splendid with the beautiful sunsets and stuff. But I was very busy in the garden yesterday and Saturday for a short while, and I had to get on with it. But really is quite marvellous. I don't know the name of this stream. I'll look at the map and I'll put the name of that stream up for you, just so you're aware of what it is. There's a dog walker along here. Probably wondering why I've got this device pointed directly at her. There's a decent field of potatoes have been harvested over there, Andy. I wouldn't like to pick, well, they called them bits. When I was picking chatties I started picking chatties when I was about 6 or 7 years old actually. And Changes was a local farm for us. We didn't really go to McLaren's. I did eventually, but when I was about 12 or 13. But it was mostly Changes. And then we went to Harley's for a while, and then at Lachlan, and then White's Chatties over at Methven. I did work for them for a little while during the chatty holidays. Hello there.
Hello.
Grand day again.
Hey.
And my very first episode at chatty picking with my brothers was involving me holding up a potato every so often, shouting to one of my brothers, "Do you think that looks like a budgie? Look at this! Get up and hurry up and get your bit picked." Yes, that's what it was, a bit. A bit was measured by the farmer stepping out a very long yard. Farmers had a longer yardage than most of the rest of us. They weren't really yards, they were meters at the time they stepped it out with their big boots. And they were quite sizable. I mean, I'm talking a half bit was about 15 yards, and about 30 yards for a big bit. But big bit, you get double money, you see. Splendid little bench to watch the chatty pickers in action. Unfortunately, they don't have any chatty pickers anymore. That field doesn't look like it's been very well harvested. There's a lot of sort of, I don't even think that is chatties, Andy. No, I think that's something else. I'll say that's the end of the season for it. Yeah, that's not potatoes. Well, I think it's just the angle of the sun got you wrong, but never mind. With these farmers, a lot of travellers used to arrive and stay locally. I'm talking stay outside. I knew where they stayed and all the rest of it. It's not far from where I lived actually. I got on great with them all. The whole lot of them. There was never a problem. Not at all. Not an ounce of issues with them. But I remember in Crieff, they used to all pile into the cinema. And they used to all pile in for the matinee on a Saturday with their boxes of provisions the other side, and had a jolly. And they really were. I sort of got to know a few of them, and I loved it. And anyway, the poorer travellers, I say tinkers because the tinkers is not a derogatory name. It's a very proficient craftsman. The tinkers were, with all sorts of metals. They would mend anything in the olden days, absolutely anything. And anyway, these poor sods, the farmers used to give them extra yardage, and they had to pick more than everyone else. I thought that was terribly unfair. It was a sort of form of apartheid, wasn't it? That they had to do more. And even at lunchtime they were all sort of separated from the rest of us. They all went their own way. But I got on great with most of them. And they all still know me. Well, I'm sure they do at least. Probably forgotten what I look like now. I haven't seen them for a while. That's just a little tale about, I thought it was a tatty field, but it's not. Let's move on, Andy, on this rail track. Look at this wonderful rail track. What the heck's this? Probably more sewage or something. Alright, so past that Scottish water place for some, I think it is sewage. We're going along here. Is this a private residence, Andy? I think it could be, but this is the rail line. Oh yes, we'll have to go onto the track, Andy. We'll have to take that the road instead of going through someone's garden, I think. Well, why would they build a house and fantastic old railway lines? So we'll have to just edge out for a little bit. Let's go back a second, Andy, please. So we've sort of tried to make that look like the railway line, but I don't think that is, Andy. I think that's just a copycat situation here with use the ballast, because that's wood. That's not metal. Rails. And it makes sense for the train tracks to come round this way. So, anyway, how on earth am I going to get through where I need to be? So what I'm saying is houses pop up everywhere, but follow the track, see where it takes us, Andy. And I had a glance on the map yesterday evening, and I was definitely right about that time. When I made the effort from Bulgowan, well, from Tippermuir to Bulgowan, and halfway along with the Pow, and I was looking for a bridge, that was the point where it split and crossed the Pow, because there's no other way across the Pow burn. And so therefore the route that I took, it was definitely wrong. But I covered it by coming back the correct way. How on earth are we trying to get onto a railway line? Surely we can get past this house. It just says no HGVs beyond this point, but it doesn't say anything about pedestrians. Yes? What a lovely little benches there as well, Andy. It's, yeah. I could have walked down there. I thought that was a barrier. I didn't walk far enough, so I was alright the first time. And look, I'm correct. See the ballast? So that Scottish water thing's a copycat affair of the actual rail track, which comes through here. And so we'll continue on our journey, Annie. Tippermallow House only. And I've come past that property, but I'm not confident that this is the rail track, Andy. There's too many. The twists are not. I'm not confident. We'll go along. We'll see what's what. But there's just a, that air of. I'm feeling it. It would skirt along the bottom of the banking. I'm feeling that's more likely the route, and going up a bit higher. But I don't know. I'll check it out. Bear with me, please. This is new territory for me, and we're on the south side of Methven, of course. And I often find that this part of the Strathern Valley from Tivermore itself right out to Madison always reminds me of something like Arkansas in the United States, or Nebraska or something like that. A sort of tornado alley, and the thunderstorms and stuff. You get quite a lot of different weather in this part of the Strathern Valley, and extremes of the temperature variation. It can be very cold or very hot in comparison with other parts. It's very odd weather along Strathern Valley itself. Meaning that it changes very quickly. This is a fine burn, this. It's one side. So I'm hoping this is a railway track, Andy. Stop mumbling. We've got past the big house and we'll see what's what, but I recognise that farm from previously, and what I want to do is stretch out over the fields. I'm just hoping there's no crops, but we'll make arrangements with that, Andy. I'm thinking this is a driveway right to this house, which I don't want to be at the front door unnecessarily. You see the winter barley, it's been sown. They don't bloody hang about, do they? All these fields are, I mention often, they're exhausted. Far too much work for these fields to do. You don't need bloody 3 crops a year. Or 2 crops a year, any. From the same patch of land. You try and do that in your garden, it'll soon turn around and say, I'm sorry, but we're not getting any more potatoes out of this patch. You're not getting any more lettuce or decent sized carrots. See there, I think that's the railway line there, going across. It just seems to make me think that that's probably, I don't know, I really, because there's a bloody oak tree there, but over there, you see. So I was right. I'm always right about things. This is the line coming through here. You see the fence there, and it would have come across where that block is, so there would have been a bridge crossing the burn here. And the very kind gentleman came out, because it's obviously private land and it's his house, and he's got a lot of people there currently, contractors and stuff. But he took the time to come over, and I told him what I was up to, and he says. There is a track down there to the farm, and what he's told me is the line would have went from there, but over here, and Methven Junction from the map would have sat just over there. And originally there was a turn off which went to that farm. I don't know why, but I can only assume that was because the patrons would walk up the track to Methven that way. So I could take my vehicle over to that side. I'll have to walk back now. So what I think we'll do, Andy, there's no other access, and as I've said already, look, there's crops right across the whole damn show. And it's rather pointless now to go anywhere in there, because there's no trace of any of the tracks. So I think what we'll do, Eddie, we'll backtrack where we were just now, and we'll go up and we'll take our vehicle down there, and if there's anyone at the farm, just let them know what I'm doing, okay? So that's that, Methven Junction, just over there, Eddie. Just over there, sir. And of course, it will continue to join the POW and then out to Tippermore, and the other line would go back and head towards Abercairny station. So I was, as I said at the time I was doing my uploads, it wasn't entirely my fault, it wasn't really my geography, it's just the lack of, there was something about that line, and it wasn't clear that it moved to the north of the POW, but that's exactly what it's done, and that's why there's a section that I definitely didn't need to walk at all that particular day back on, whenever that was, mid-May sometime, 13th of May I think it was, somewhere around there. So let's go back, Annie. Let's go back the track. I did say to you earlier, I think this is not the railway line, but I did correct myself, and that's it over there. So, yep, let's get back to the car, Andy, please. Look at the hawthorns, Annie. Absolutely beautiful. I didn't get any this year. I've been too busy. Everything's just jumped from. Well, since May, the last 6 months, it's been absolutely hectic in my life. It's been really busy for some reason. I don't know why, but look at these berries, Annie. Plenty of feed for the birds, and that's what I like to see. And the birds will eat them, you know. They'll come in the field fairs. It's amazing watching the field fairs. They'll come and flock. Up to 100 of them at a time, and they just come swooping in like bloody locusts, and they gobble up everything. They take the lot. They don't leave one little berry for any other bird in the hedgerows. They just take the bloody lot. Well, who can blame them? Because, well, look, it looks like delicious sweeties. It looks like those aniseed balls we used to get. Like that size of aniseed. Can't remember the name of them now, any. Little aniseed drops or something they're called. Yeah, so well, I remember eating them, and I had a lot of confectionery when I was young. I used to like all different sweeties. Tried them bloody a lot. But now they're all full of bloody palm oil. And bloody chemicals. I would rather pay 3 times the price for an original bar of Galaxy chocolate, or even Cadbury's Dairy Milk or something like that. In fact, any of the chocolates are on the market. I mean, Bourneville, I bought a bloody bar of Bourneville about 5 years ago. Bloody honestly, it obviously made me sick. Well, it didn't make me physically sick, but the taste of it was just pure sugar. And as I say, I would rather have all the original, like a walnut whip. Walnut whip used to last me about a bloody hour. You start nibbling it and licking the cream, the fondant at the top, and the hazelnut, sorry, the walnut first, obviously. You lay that aside and lick out all that bloody white fondant cream stuff, and then start nibbling at the delicious chocolate. It was brilliant. It was a great experience. Getting a walnut whip. I used to nip down to Crowley's. They were the best sweet shop. In fact, I think I'll do is I'll cover sweet shops at another date, shall we? Let's move back and get on with the job in hand, please, Andrew. All right. Okay, what I've done is decided to come up onto the rail track and maybe try and make my way over. You can see, when I talk about this original fencing that the railway board used. Here's evidence of it. So this is the railway in here. south of Methven, going to Methven Junction. And I said it a few moments ago about people going up that track, but obviously there's no need because the train went all the way into Methven. Let me show you where I got over this jam fence. Incidentally, I was talking about field fairs. There's a whole bunch of them up there. I just saw them. So when I was chatting about that hawthorn berries, they probably thought that, look, Eddie's pointing out a big row of hawthorns for us. Let's gather and we'll get down there and bloody consume the lot. I love the winter for the colours, it's just great. You've got to be out. You've got to be out. You can't bloody sit indoors. You've got to be out. Doesn't matter what the weather's doing. Unless you're like me and you're always damn busy. So here we are, Andrew, and there's perfect evidence of the track moving round, and that's the return part. I got through that lot. What I want to try and do is see if there's any access up and over. I think there's a gate along here. Yeah, I'll try and get on to the other side of that hedgerow and have a bit of a peek. If not, what I might do is return and I might take in, hello Mr. Pheasant, I might take in that field and see if we can just cross the fields rather than move the car unnecessarily. Rather do everything all at once, you see. I'm conscious of the time and darkness. There's another pheasant. Look at that hawthorn, Annie. Look at the berries. Crikey. Yeah, so here's the gate here. This is very well maintained, this part, isn't it? Like somebody cuts the bloody grass on the railroute. Isn't that wonderful to see that? But that's, I mean, these engineers, I mean, everything I tell you, how that just sweeps around so gently and then follows all the way up to the actual train station in Methven itself. It's just wonderful. Of course, this line closed much earlier. This closed in, I think this closed to passengers before the war. If not, it was about 1951. I think it was 1951 the passengers train stopped going to Methven. Either 1937 or 1951. I can't really remember exactly. I seem to suffer a lot from noise interference in my life. Yesterday was a bloody chap across the street with a damn leaf blower for bloody about 3 hours. Really annoying. And then today I've got a plane circling around. Absolutely no purpose at all, just fucking round and round and round. Like a fun fair. Ah, for goodness sake. Right, Eddie, barbed wire. So that's that house, and I got to tip or something. I'll put the names up. So I'm going to walk along the edge here and follow those oaks. And if you come onto the Moss Road, we'll walk down and I'll point out exactly where the station house was as I came out from the Abercairnie stretch that particular day on the 18th of May, was it? No. No, earlier than that. No, my brain's all to heck. Yeah, so that's that track. Let's get over this fence, Andy, please. So this should have been a wonderful field of stubble. But it's not. We've only got a smidgen at the very edge of the track here. Look at the acorns. There's absolutely thousands came down during that storm in September. So hopefully a few of these will be carted off by a squirrel and one of the seeds, one of the acorns dug away and forgotten about by the squirrel, and it sprouts into a marvellous tree like that eventually. But it's nice coming to, there's the breeze picking up, it's nice coming to a place where you've not been before, just wandering. That wind's coming straight out of the northwest. Yes, it is. But it's alright. I'm okay with it. Look at the size of that girth on that oak tree. That's a beautiful tree, isn't it? You're absolutely wonderful. What a lonely tree you are. You see, I'm not lonely, Annie. There used to be lots of people come past here. Back in the days when people were farming. Farming in the dozen. Lots of farm labourers all working away. Yes, Andy. I used to watch the trains pass when I was little. You've been here a very long time, sir. Look at the size of you. You need to lose some weight, you. Yes, you need to lose some weight. Oh, what a lovely tree, eh? Look at the tree. It shows its face, it speaks to you, the tree. And the dryads, they're all contained in there, all the spirits are all contained within the bark. That's why these old trees are worth, retaining. There's too many of them cut down for bloody motorways and houses and stuff, you know. Yeah, I'm loving this, Annie. I've got my big park on today. Let me show you. I need to have a clear out. I've got so many bloody. Honestly, I've got £2,000 worth of bloody shoes. This is great, Andrew. Alright, there's the road over there, so we'll continue around the fields, Annie, and we'll eventually find a gate which will take us over, rather than scrambling through all that again. But I need to keep to the edge of the soil, not trampling through what looks like freshly sown crops, probably in mid-September. Every damn field has got, there's nothing left to rest over the winter. I fallow for a year, or two even, you know, to allow the ground to recover. I keep going on about this, but I might, I actually contacted somebody to connect to the farming community and asked them what the hell was going on about the stubble. But it said you can put something in. I wanted to write an article about it. Well. I'll show you. So I've reached the road here, and we'll walk south. I'm not joking. The number of field fairs I've seen, they're all whizzing past. Ever since I mentioned it earlier on, I'd never thought about them being around, but they're all around here. That's them up there. You see, you might have caught them in the camera. It's sort of, they don't dart around as quickly as swallows, but that's them all up there. You see them passing? Yeah, there's loads of them coming across here for some reason. Oh, they're in there, they've been feeding. Oh, there's a little robin. Hello there. How are you getting on, sir? That damn plane in the background is such a source of annoyance. Hello, little robin. It's just a beautiful day in the countryside, you know that. Apart from that damn plane away. I'm really having a great time here, you know that. The temperature's probably about, 4 degrees perhaps. Maybe not even that any. 4, 5 degrees, yeah. And the sun's beautiful. I've said a lot in my vlogs, but I've said it that the sun is definitely higher in the sky during the months of December, well, November, December, January, than it was when I was a child. Definitely, there's no doubt about it in my mind. And this is probably why we have that condition that they hark on about all the fucking time called climate change, which is non-existent. Totally. It's because the Earth's axis is moved, and it does that naturally. It's not as if it's something's gone wrong. It happens over several thousand years. The gradual process. The Sahara Desert used to be bloody as green as this, with trees and everything, and that was bloody barren wasteland. And if you think about Scotland, 10,000 years ago, perhaps, the Ice Age, and well, I'd be bloody walking through a glacier right now, underneath it, melting glacier. Must have been terrifying. I'm not even sure if there were any dinosaurs on Earth. Not really. I'm wondering if that's just another of these fake news stories, just to sort of, a chapter and verse thing about keeping people thinking that there's a gradual development of man from a little fucking fish or frog or something. Instead of being made in form, in the likeness of God, because that's what we are. We're all made in His likeness. The fact that God is omnipresent means He's in all of us, right now as I speak. The same today, the same yesterday, and the same tomorrow, for an eternity. And I'm not entirely sure that people who come and go on this planet, I've got a thing that, like God made so many zebra, so many lions, so many elephants. Well, I think He made so many men and women. Nothing in between, remember, just a man or a woman. And I'm entirely sure that when we pass over, that we do come back again. We definitely come back. Otherwise, heaven would be a very, very, very busy place. There wouldn't be enough room for everybody in heaven. If you consider the number of people who have come through the earth over the tens of thousands of years. Well, 12,000 years perhaps. which is absolutely bugger all in the lifetime of the planet. See how ridiculous it is about this climate change nonsense, because I mean, man's only been here for about 10 or 12,000 apparently, but crikey, if man's only been here for that time, and we've got stones that we can date back to, you know, millions of years, or indeed this proposed Big Bang in the bloody universe. What a lot of nonsense that is. Yes. Big truck coming up, Randy. May as well take off the road, shall we? Every single field I look at's got that winter valley in it. I'm going to take a left. I'm going to walk along past the towards the farm itself and see if we can catch a glimpse of anything from the past. That's the route of the railway line over there, Andy. Heading eastwards to Crieff. But we'll go up to the farm, see what he says. Moss side. The difference also Moss side here that is from the Moss side in Manchester, isn't it? Can you see that? Right, we'll go along here. Private road, Moss side farm. Yeah, I don't care about your private road, I'm walking along it. Okay, we'll switch the camera off though, it's unfair to film people's houses.